Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Today's video is going to be all about my girl Whirlwind. So I did finally awaken her a fair while ago now, and I just thought it's about time we do a bit of a spotlight on her because she was what I sort of built my teams around early game. Yes, I had Stormblade as well, but she was the one I really wanted to test out when I started on the global server because I'd never really used her, hadn't seen much about her on the soft launch. And I reckon she's an absolute beast of a unit. I really like the way she plays and the effectiveness she has. The big question I get asked often is the awakening or not, because early on I did say I didn't like the idea of awakening because her awakening skill turns her heal into AoE damage as well. And when the Beast Labyrinth is the main progression path early game, and the boss has a revenge after he gets hit a certain amount of times, 10 times I think it is, you don't want to be contributing extra attacks to that counter when you don't need to. The attacks you do on that boss want to be doing really good damage. And because early game I built her on a mixed build so that she can survive, but also attack for the heal, it's sort of the damage wasn't going to be there. So I left her on Awaken. I feel like once you get to the stage of doing like B9, B9, you're probably going to be looking at a Wham Shell Boomer for the most efficiency in that. And by that time, you can drop off the Whirlwind. So once you get to that stage, I'd say that's when you can Awaken her. I did wait until I could do a 3-star B10 with her, but there are other options for that B10 3-star, so you don't need her for that. When we look further into it, we'll jump into the skills, and then we'll talk about it a bit more, and we'll talk about the different sets. So skill 1, charges an enemy, grants defense up for 2 turns to an ally, deals a bonus hit when attacking an enemy under electric shock. It's hard to get team synergy with electric shock. The unfortunate thing is that there is no life or earth level 10 bosses that she's really going to shine against. If there was, and you were bringing a full wind type team, and you had an electric shock unit in that would make this attack much more effective. But for now, it's basically a single target defense up for 2 turns. Damage is decent, but not amazing. The second skill is a 6 mana, 6-second cooldown. Now, this is one, if you're playing manually in Arena, I kind of like to take this one just because of the damage is a bit better. The electric shock can help, and it's just basically that extra option to get a little bit more damage should it come to like a 1v1 or something like that, because you do have the heal, and normally I just use Broccoli Guy, so I have a defense buff anyway. So when you're manually Arena, this is the option I do like to take personally. For anything auto, I leave this out. It's just too expensive and too low a cooldown, and she'll just drain your mana. And then the skill that actually makes her is this third skill. It's a charge skill, so 0 mana cost, which is amazing, and it's a HP regen for 5 turns, and decreases debuff counts by 3. That is at max skill, and I have no regrets about skilling her up. Skill stones, once again, being so scarce, it is a big decision to do this. I know a lot of people avoided Whirlwind because of the skill up cost, but for me personally, I really enjoyed it and found her very useful. So this skill in itself, reducing the debuff count by 3, it's pretty much a full cleanse for anything except for bombs. There's not too many debuffs that are longer than 3 turns. You got to be really careful using this in Arena against bombs, because if you do use it straight after they go down, it'll bring them down to about 1 turn, and then they'll blow up the next turn. So there is a bit of timing involved in it when using it against bombs, but besides that, it's a fantastic skill. When we look at the stats of my Whirlwind being on 5,000 attack, she doesn't actually have an attack rune on her. She's defense HP. When we look at that attack, without attack buff, she's healing for about 850 per tick of her regen, which is really, really nice considering she's built as a full tank and still able to heal that much. So pretty much that's what I aim for on mine, because I was using her as a bit of a neutral tank in things, and I really wanted to survive. If they ever introduce content that has like a life or earth boss, then I feel like I'd put her on a full attack build and go for that, because her being on a full attack build, she becomes a really good attack unit because she's got a defense buff, she's got a heal, which would scale insanely better. What we might do is, while I talk about her, we may as well just do like a we'll do a B10 run, and we'll just show you the sort of tankiness that she does have. This will definitely be a wipe, but we're just trying to see how much damage she can actually soak up. So we'll go into this and start it. But like I was saying, if they do make make a dungeon with the life, don't do this game. Do not do this right when I want to demonstrate something. Oh, reconnect. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, game. Yes, thank you. Yeah, if they make a life or earth boss, I think it'll be really effective because, like I said, having her as your damage dealer, this is the one problem you do have with AI. See how she is waiting and not charging up? This is the biggest problem. Finally, she charges. Now we should be good. We'll get the broccoli guy out to help out as well. But as you can see, she's absorbing these hits fairly well at a B10 range. And the broccoli guy bonus heals is really nice too. But as you can see, there was an 830 and 808. The heals are ticking fairly nice. So that's without attack buff. With attack buff, it gets up to about 1,000 or a bit higher. But yeah, she does the job really well of being a tank, plus also healing decently. But yeah, if you could build her as your main damage dealer, I feel like she would be such a versatile damage dealer because you wouldn't have to bring a healer. You just have her as the damage dealer. Then you can bring a second unit for mitigation, and then maybe just another attacking unit. I feel like that's this would be my ideal world if we could get a Life or Earth boss on maybe a new rune dungeon or something like that, because it would just make Whirlwind more amazing than she already is. Because like I said, as a damage dealer, she would be absolutely amazing. Good AoE pressure for clearing waves, the defense buff that could come in clutch, plus if you have an ally that is then bringing the electric shock, her first skill is going to have even more effectiveness, and I just think the synergy would be fantastic. But we're gonna get wiped here by the boss. I'm hoping we can land this regen. Okay, so as you can see, she soaked up that damage really well. This is the boss's revenge, and you can see the crit killed her, but the damage mitigation, damage not mitigation, but the survival she has is actually really nice, considering she's also healing based off her attack and getting fairly decent heals. So that's where I like using her in guild invasions and stuff like that. Even if she's a negative elemental attack, I use her against Wolfgang and Pepperjack, and I've gotten well over 100k on both those bosses. Just having her as the tank that can also just keep your team up, and she works really well for it. So what we might do here is we might do a quick test, and we'll just blow some gold. And what I'm going to do is we'll take this and we'll remove, and what we'll do is we'll put her on a full attack build. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'll just swap over these few runes just so we can see exactly where it's at. Where's the attack rune? Is here. And hopefully we can see what the actual healing is, because I haven't actually tested this yet to see what it comes out to be. We want something with some attack, hopefully. No, we'll just take that one and put that on. And then one more rune to swap over so we can get that strike set built in. I do that's the one thing I did have. I did have a strike set on her when I had her on full tank build, and I think that really helps, that strike set, giving her that extra bit of attack, just making it able to, get that extra bit of healing. The damage I'm really not fussed about on that build. It's just all about the healing. And the nice thing is when we do look at her base stats, she's well and truly HP in the range of percentage, which is really nice. Defense is still flat. Attack's pretty borderline. I feel like the attack, I think optimally is you want flat, but it's right on the borderline where it's not too bad either way. But now that we've got her on this set, so she's got 7,400 attack, still not sky high. I didn't optimize substats, but it'll just be interesting to test what she can actually heal. So what we might do is we'll jump into this one here, and we'll do the boss, because all I want to do is basically see how much she can actually heal. We may get a little bit of a damage indicator as well, but the healing is what I'm really curious about, because if you can use her as a hybrid damage healer on some future content where she's got elemental advantage, I feel like it's going to be nice. So let's see what kind of damage we can get out of this skill. Okay, double 2k crits. That's not too bad. What are the heals ticking for? And 11,300 ticks on the heal. Oh no, yeah, 1136. That's actually really nice for the heal. I'm actually really impressed with that. And the damage, double 12. The damage isn't anything amazing, but once again, if you combine this with an attack buff, like that heal is going to be somewhere around 1500, and that's with like not optimized stats at all. So I can definitely see this being a thing. I'm hoping if they release the third rune dungeon, it is Life or Earth so that Whirlwind can really shine. But overall, I feel like the attack build could be an option. Even for Arena, I feel like attack build could be a really good option just to catch people off guard. And it's also the healing capabilities is really nice as well. So that's pretty much where the Whirlwind is at. The role she fills, I feel like she fills it really well, and I'm really happy that I did build her. But she's not a necessary unit. That is the key thing to remember here. She's not 100% necessary to build. She's not like a boomer where you really, really want to build him and like it's like a definite build. She does help. I love having a healer. She's a great option to have a healer. It just makes all content nice. Mirage Tower, the Guild Invasions, like I said. Having a healer is really nice, and being one that's really easy to farm. Does cost skill ups, but it comes down to what you like to do. So that is going to be it for the Whirlwind, guys. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.